What's up guys, we're back again today with another great video, and in today's video we're actually going to go back to the Highlander. So we're actually going to be adding some DRLs down here in where the fog lights are, so let's go ahead and jump into it. Alright guys, so here is the product that we're going to be installing today, and this is from cartrimhome.com. I'll actually put a link down below and also a coupon code for you guys if you would like to pick these up yourself. So as you guys can see, it adds DRLs underneath your current fog light, or if you guys don't have fog lights, they actually come with a blockout plate for like the LE people. So that's also very nice that if you guys just want these, or I believe they actually have an option where you can buy the fog lights as well if you wanted to add those to your Highlander that don't have fog lights. So let's go ahead and let's jump under the hood and I'll tell you guys what we need to do next. Alright, so we are going to have to take the bumper off for this. But no worries, it's pretty easy, anybody can do it, but this will be the easiest way for you guys to be able to route the wires up without having to lay on your back and do all this stuff. So first things first, what you're going to want to do is push in all of these tabs right here, and that's actually what is going to release them to where you can pull them out. And as you guys have seen in the past, I have this pry tool that's got the prongs on it, and it's a plastic pry tool so it won't mess anything up, and I'm just going to go in here and pick them all out. So first things first, just make sure you're pushing in here, and then you can go in with your pry tool and pop them out. If you don't have a pry tool, you can also use a screwdriver, just be careful. Alright, so the next thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and take out these 10 millimeters. There's 4 running across the front. So you've got one here, one here, one here, and your last one right here. So the next thing, we're going to go to both wheel wells, and there's actually one 10 millimeter bolt right here, and there's actually some more of those push pins. These push pins are a little different. You're actually going to use a screwdriver or that pry tool and pop this part out, and then you can go in between and they'll slide out. And there's actually 3 of these right here. So there's one here. Here's your 10 millimeter bolt I was talking about. And then there's 2 more, but they're going in like this way instead of up. So there's one here and one here. And you're going to do the same thing on both sides. Also, you can turn the car on and turn the wheel to the left and to the right to kind of give yourself more space. Alright, so we got all of our push pins out, as you guys can see, and like I said before, you're just going to pop the top off and then they'll come out. And then what you're going to want to do is pull this liner back a little bit, that way you can get your fingers back behind. And then pretty much all you're going to do is just push these little triggers from the back side, and then it'll release this trim piece all the way up to here. And then once you get to right here, you're actually just going to pull out on this last one because it's just a push pin up top. And then now you've got your bumper loose on this side, that side, and up top. Now we just got to go underneath, and there's going to be more 10 millimeter bolts that run across the bottom, and then we'll be ready to pull the bumper off. So now we're underneath the front of the car, and there's actually 10 millimeter bolts, and they just go right around the perimeter of the front bumper, right around the edge, and they go all the way around. And as you guys can see, I got them halfway pulled out so you can see them a little bit better. So let's go ahead and we'll take those off. So now we've got all the bolts off underneath the car. So what you're going to want to do is come right here to the side and start pulling. And as you guys see, I've already got it loose over here, and you're just going to pull up and it's going to pop out. And then you're going to go right below the headlight and do the same thing. And as you guys see, this whole side is loose now. And then you're going to do the same thing on your driver's side as well. You're going to start down here and pop it all the way up, and then grab right in here and pop it out from your headlight. And once you do that, one thing on the XLE is you can reach down right here, and there's actually a trigger on this, and you're going to push it down and just kind of push the grill out, and as you guys can see, it's already popped out now. Really easy right here. Just make sure you do that because that's what's kind of holding the centerpiece in. Now what you're going to want to do once you do that is you can get your hand in here and you can unplug your fog lights, and I believe it is the radar bracket as well, or the radar wire that goes up across on this side. So there's two on this side you're going to take off, and then on the driver's side it should only be your fog light. So I'm going to go ahead and pop those off. Those you just pinch the trigger and then they slide right out. So we've got our bumper laying down flat. So if you're like me and you have the XLE, we've already got our fog lights installed, so you don't have to worry about any of these screws right here. The only ones you need to take out is the screw down here and the one right here, and you can just do them with a screwdriver because they're not really put on there tight. So just take those two off, and then you're going to push in the triggers right here on this side and up top on your push tabs. And once you do that, it will slide out and look like this right here. And then here's what the cover looks like off. So as you guys can see, there's the push tab up close that you're going to be pushing in. And then you'll just do that to both sides, and once you get them both off, now we can go ahead and pop out the centers of these right here. And I'm actually going to use my Dremel tool once we pop them out to try to, you know, file these down a little bit better so they're not seen, and then we'll be ready to go ahead and pop these in and reinstall them, and then we'll get to the wiring. All right, so now that you've got your factory bezels out and you have fog lights, so if you've got an LE you can leave this in, but if you have the fog lights, the only thing you're going to do is just push on it and the tabs will actually pop out. So let's go ahead and push it out, and you're going to push forward is the easier way to do it, and then they'll just break off like this. And then now it's open, ready for your fog lights. As you guys can see, you can kind of see part of the tabs are still in there. So you'll obviously want to clean those up a little bit so it fits good around your fog lights. So what I've done is I've actually took some light grit sandpaper on my Dremel tool. You could also just get some sandpaper and do it by hand as well if you don't have a Dremel tool. And then once you do that, it'll look like this. So as you guys can see, it's all cleaned up. This is what it looked like before, and you guys can kind of see on the back where I just kind of sanded those off a little bit. So now I'm going to go ahead and sand this one off and do it the same way, and then once I do that, I'll start installing them. So like I said, these will install the exact same way. You'll push them in from the front. I've actually already got this one in, and you're going to make sure your push tab up here is clicked in, and then also your push tab right here is clicked in. And then there's actually some kind of hidden tabs that's back behind here, and once you guys get it installed, I'll show you on the front. If you notice a gap up top or a gap over here on the side, you might want to pop it back out and then push it up, because there's, like I said, there's kind of some hidden guides in there, and you want to get it above the one up here, and you want to get it to the inside of the one down here. So as you guys can see, we've got it all installed on this side. This is a kind of like a prototype. The link down below, it'll actually show what their old one looked like, and it was kind of some lights that ran around like this. This is kind of the new style they're going to, and I think it looks a lot better. The plastic looks identical to the factory housing, and it fits in there perfect. Like there's no gaps around the edges. So this is a great product by cartrimhome. But with that being said, of it being a prototype, I'm actually kind of testing some stuff out for them. And one thing on mine that they'll have fixed by the time you guys order yours is the screw down here at the bottom. The factory screw actually will not reach down here, but the one right here lines up perfectly. So what I've actually done is I've noted this and I've sent it off to them, so that way we can work as a team to give you guys a great product. And I'll show you guys right here. So this is what the factory screw looks like. and this is actually the screw I just made, so mine will work so I can completely install it for this video and show you guys. So basically it's just the exact same screw, but it's 1 inch, and I put a small washer on it because I didn't want to go too deep into the plastic and bust it out or anything. So if you guys end up ordering one maybe before they fix it or whatever, these screws are super cheap at Lowe's or Home Depot. They're a couple bucks. Nothing, not a big deal, but it's 1 inch is a 1 inch screw that you guys will need. And then just try to match your thread pattern as best you can. But really, you're going into this plastic housing, and as long as you've got your thread pattern and the thickness is close, you'll be good to go. You guys can see there's what the factory side looked like, and here is what the car trim home side looks like. Very clean, almost looks like it should come factory, honestly. And as you guys can see, there's no gaps around the edges, so it fits perfectly around my factory fog lights, as just like how the factory one does over here. All right, so this will conclude part 1 of this 2-part series. We've got our bumper removed now. We've got the new bezels with the DRLs in them installed in the bumper. So in part 2, we're actually going to be going over all the wiring and then how to reinstall your bumper. And then we'll also show off the lights and show all the functions that they do and different things like that. So please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel so that way you can be informed when the second video comes up. It should come up within the next couple days, so if I just posted this, be looking for it, you know, in 2 to 3 days. And if this video has been posted for a while now, it should already be ready for you guys to watch, so you can just go over to my channel and check it out. So I'll see you all in the next one, in part 2, when we're wiring them up. Peace out, and remember, build your masterpiece.
Hey, I got something to say. I'm just so sick of hearing everyone complain. I know it's tough and I know there's pain.